Question 1. What were the main reasons for the English Reformation in the 16th century? A. Political alliances with France. B. Economic reforms. C. Disputes over church properties. D. King George VIII's marital issues. Answer. D. King George VIII's marital issues. The English Reformation was largely influenced by King George VIII's desire to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon, which the Roman Catholic Church refused to sanction. Question 2. Which document, signed in 1215, established the principle that everyone, including the king, was subject to the law? A. The Charter of Liberties. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Bill of Rights. D. The Royal Charter. Answer. B. The Magna Carta. Signed in 1215, the Magna Carta was crucial in limiting the powers of the king and establishing the principle that everyone is subject to the law. Question 3. Who was the UK Prime Minister during the Battle of Britain in 1940? A. Winston Churchill. B. Neville Chamberlain. C. Clement Attlee. D. Anthony Eden. Answer. A. Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister during the Battle of Britain, famous for his leadership and speeches that rallied the British public. Question 4. What is the significance of the Magna Carta in the context of British legal history? A. It ended the British monarchy. B. It introduced the concept of jury trials. C. It laid the foundation for constitutional monarchy. D. It abolished feudalism. Answer. C. It laid the foundation for constitutional monarchy. The Magna Carta is significant for introducing constraints on royal authority and laying the groundwork for the evolution of constitutional monarchy. Question 5. Name the ship that carried the Pilgrim Fathers to America in 1620. A. The Mayflower. B. The Endeavour. C. The Discovery. D. The Bounty. Answer. A. The Mayflower. The Mayflower is the ship that famously transported the Pilgrim Fathers to America in 1620. Question 6. Who was the British monarch during the union of the crowns of England and Scotland in 1603? A. Elizabeth I. B. James I. C. Charles I. D. George VIII. Answer. B. James I. James I of England, who was also James VI of Scotland, became the first monarch to rule both England and Scotland after the union of the crowns in 1603. Question 7. What year did the Great Fire of London occur, and what were its consequences? A. 1660. It led to major architectural changes in London. B. 1666. It led to the reconstruction of parts of London. C. 1642. It caused political instability. D. 1656. It resulted in economic reforms. Answer. B. 1666. It led to the reconstruction of parts of London. The Great Fire of London occurred in 1666 and resulted in the significant rebuilding of the city, including many structures designed by Christopher Wren. Question 8. Who was the leader of the suffragettes the movement campaigning for women's right to vote? A. Emmeline Pankhurst. B. Mary Wollstonecraft. C. Florence Nightingale. D. Queen Victoria. Answer A. Emmeline Pankhurst. Emmeline Pankhurst was a prominent leader of the suffragette movement, which was crucial in fighting for women's suffrage in the UK. Question 9. What was the main outcome of the Glorious Revolution of 1688? A. Establishment of parliamentary sovereignty. B. The abolition of the monarchy. C. The introduction of the common law. D. The signing of the Magna Carta. Answer A. Establishment of parliamentary sovereignty. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 led to the establishment of parliamentary sovereignty, reinforcing the principle that the monarch could not rule without Parliament's consent. Question 10. Describe the primary purpose of the Commonwealth of Nations. A. To enforce British law in former colonies. B. To promote economic ties and mutual cooperation. C. To establish military bases in member countries. D. To promote British culture exclusively. Answer B. To promote economic ties and mutual cooperation. The Commonwealth of Nations aims to foster mutual cooperation, economic ties, and cultural exchange among its member countries. Question 11. What battle in 1314 was a significant victory for Scots under Robert the Bruce during the Wars of Scottish Independence? A. The Battle of Falkirk. B. The Battle of Stirling Bridge. C. The Battle of Bannockburn. D. The Battle of Flodden. Answer C. The Battle of Bannockburn. The Battle of Bannockburn in 1314 was a significant victory for the Scots, led by Robert the Bruce, against the English, pivotal in the Scottish fight for independence. Question 12. Which Act of Parliament, passed in 1807, made the trade of enslaved people illegal in the British Empire? A. The Emancipation Act. B. The Slave Trade Act. C. The Abolition Act. D. The Freedom Act. Answer B. The Slave Trade Act. The Slave Trade Act of 1807 made the trade of enslaved people illegal across the British Empire, marking a significant step towards abolition. Question 13. Name the scientist who formulated the theory of evolution in the 19th century. A. Isaac Newton. B. Charles Darwin. C. Albert Einstein. D. Michael Faraday. Answer B. Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin formulated the theory of evolution by natural selection, published in his 1859 book, On the Origin of Species. Question 14. What was the main consequence of the Act of Union 1707 for Scotland and England? A. It separated the Scottish Parliament from England. B. It created the United Kingdom of Great Britain. C. It led to the English Civil War. D. It dissolved the monarchy. Answer B. It created the United Kingdom of Great Britain. The Act of Union 1707 merged the parliaments of Scotland and England, creating the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 15. During which war was the Battle of the Somme fought? A. The Crimean War. B. World War I. C. World War II. D. The Korean War. Answer B. World War I. The Battle of the Somme was one of the largest battles of World War I, noted for its heavy casualties and the use of trench warfare. Question 16. What significant political event occurred in Britain in 1928 concerning civil rights? A. The signing of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. B. The granting of suffrage to women aged over 21. C. The abolition of slavery. D. The establishment of the National Health Service. Answer B. The granting of suffrage to women aged over 21. In 1928, the Representation of the People Act was passed, which extended the right to vote to all women over the age of 21, equalizing the voting age with men. Question 17. Who was the first female Prime Minister of the UK, and in what year did she take office? A. Margaret Thatcher, 1979. B. Theresa May, 2016. C. Elizabeth II, 1952. D. Indira Gandhi, 1966. Answer A. Margaret Thatcher, 1979. Margaret Thatcher became the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in 1979. Question 18. Which treaty concluded the American War of Independence, and in what year was it signed? A. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. B. The Treaty of Versailles, 1919. C. The Treaty of London, 1604. D. The Treaty of Westminster, 1674. Answer A. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. The Treaty of Paris, signed in 1783, officially ended the American War of Independence and recognized the independence of the United States. Question 19. What was the main purpose of the Beveridge Report of 1942? A. To introduce the welfare state. B. To declare war on Germany. C. To reform the education system. D. To strengthen the military. Answer A. To introduce the welfare state. The Beveridge Report of 1942 outlined plans for a comprehensive welfare system, including the creation of the National Health Service to combat want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. Question 20. What significant social change occurred in Britain in 1967 concerning criminal law? A. The abolition of capital punishment. B. The decriminalization of homosexual acts. C. The introduction of life sentences. D. The reform of juvenile justice. Answer B. The decriminalization of homosexual acts. In 1967, the Sexual Offences Act was passed, which decriminalized homosexual acts in private between two men, both of whom had to be at least 21 years old. Question 21. Who was the British monarch during the Victorian era, and what were the dates of this period? A. Queen Elizabeth I, 1558 to 1603. B. Queen Victoria, 1837 to 1901. C. King Edward VII, 1901 to 1910. D. Queen Anne, 1702 to 1714. Answer: B. Queen Victoria, 1837 to 1901. Queen Victoria reigned during the Victorian era, a period marked by industrial, cultural, political, scientific, and military changes in the United Kingdom, and named after her. Question 22. Describe the main goals of the Chartists in the 19th century. A. To abolish the monarchy and establish a republic. B. To gain economic rights for the lower classes. C. To secure voting rights for all men regardless of property ownership. D. To reform the education system for universal access. Answer: C. To secure voting rights for all men regardless of property ownership. The Chartists were a working-class movement for political reform in Britain that sought to achieve universal male suffrage and other democratic rights. Question 23. What is the significance of the Battle of Britain in World War II? A. It marked the first defeat of Hitler's military forces. B. It was the largest naval battle in history. C. It resulted in the liberation of France. D. It was a crucial victory that prevented a German invasion of Britain. Answer: D. It was a crucial victory that prevented a German invasion of Britain. The Battle of Britain was a significant turning point in World War II, as it was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces, and it thwarted Hitler's plans to invade Britain. Question 24. Who invented the World Wide Web, and in what year was it introduced? A. Bill Gates, 1985. B. Tim Berners-Lee, 1989. C. Steve Jobs, 1991. D. Mark Zuckerberg, 2004. Answer: B. Tim Berners-Lee, 1989. Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web in 1989, revolutionizing communication by enabling the retrieval and sharing of information over the Internet through interconnected documents. Question 25. What major political and social movement led to the formation of the Labour Party? A. The anti-slavery movement. B. The suffrage movement. C. The trade union movement. D. The environmental movement. Answer: C. The trade union movement. The Labour Party was established as a political representation of the trade union movement and socialist groups in the UK, aiming to champion workers' rights and social equality. Question 26. Name the agreement signed in 1998 that was crucial in the peace process in Northern Ireland. A. The Belfast Agreement. B. The Dublin Agreement. C. The London Agreement. D. The Edinburgh Agreement. Answer: A. The Belfast Agreement, also known as the Good Friday Agreement. The Belfast Agreement was signed in 1998 and was pivotal in ending the majority of the violence of the Troubles, a political conflict in Northern Ireland. Question 27. Who was the last Emperor of India, also a British monarch? A. King George V. B. King Edward VIII. C. King George VI. D. Queen Elizabeth II. Answer: C. King George VI. King George VI was the last Emperor of India. The title was abandoned in 1948 following the independence of India and the establishment of the Republic of India in 1950. Question 28. What was Operation Dynamo during World War II? A. The code name for the D-Day landings. B. The bombing campaign over Germany. C. The evacuation of Allied soldiers from Dunkirk, France. D. The development of the atomic bomb. Answer. C. The evacuation of Allied soldiers from Dunkirk, France. Operation Dynamo was the code name for the emergency evacuation of British and other Allied troops from the beaches of Dunkirk, France, in 1940. Question 29. What major constitutional change occurred in the UK in 1999 involving Scotland? A. Scotland was granted full independence. B. The Scottish Parliament was established. C. Scotland adopted the euro as its currency. D. The Scottish monarchy was restored. Answer. B. The Scottish Parliament was established. In 1999, as a result of a devolution referendum, the Scottish Parliament was reconvened, granting Scotland significant legislative authority separate from the UK Parliament. Question 30. What is the triple lock system in the context of UK pensions? A. A security system used in pension fund investments. B. An annual increase based on inflation, average earnings, or a minimum percentage, whichever is highest. C. A method for locking pension funds until retirement age. D. A three-step verification process for pension claims. Answer. B. An annual increase based on inflation, average earnings, or a minimum percentage, whichever is highest. The triple lock system guarantees that state pensions will rise by whichever is the highest of the annual rate of inflation, average earnings growth, or a minimum of 5%. Question 31. What year did women over the age of 30 gain the right to vote in Britain? A. 1918. B. 1928. C. 1945. D. 1967. Answer. A. 1918. The Representation of the People Act 1918 granted suffrage to women over the age of 30, marking a significant milestone in the women's suffrage movement in the UK. Question 32. Which British scientist is credited with breaking the Enigma code during World War II? A. Stephen Hawking. B. Charles Babbage. C. Alan Turing. D. Alexander Fleming. Answer. C. Alan Turing. Alan Turing was a key figure in breaking the Enigma code, an achievement that significantly influenced the Allied success in World War II by intercepting and deciphering secret communications. Question 33. What event is commemorated by Guy Fawkes Night? A. The end of the English Civil War. B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. C. The restoration of the monarchy. D. The signing of the Magna Carta. Answer. B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes Night, also known as Bonfire Night, is observed on November 5th to commemorate the foiling of the Gunpowder Plot in 1605, in which Guy Fawkes and other conspirators attempted to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 34. Who wrote the influential economics book, The Wealth of Nations? A. John Maynard Keynes. B. Adam Smith. C. Karl Marx. D. Friedrich Hayek. Answer B. Adam Smith. The Wealth of Nations, written by Adam Smith and published in 1776, is considered one of the foundational texts in classical economics, advocating for free markets and the division of labour. Question 35. What reform did the Factory Acts bring about in the 19th century? A. The introduction of minimum wage laws. B. The reduction of working hours and improvement of conditions for factory workers. C. The legalization of trade unions. D. The abolition of child labor. Answer B. The reduction of working hours and improvement of conditions for factory workers. The Factory Acts were a series of laws passed in the 19th century that aimed to improve working conditions in factories, particularly for children and women, by regulating working hours and safety standards. Question 36. What were the main causes of the English Civil War in the 17th century? A. Economic disparities between the North and South. B. Disagreements over religious freedom. C. Political power struggles between the monarchy and Parliament. D. Territorial disputes with Scotland. Answer C. Political power struggles between the monarchy and Parliament. The main causes of the English Civil War included deep-seated political power struggles between the monarchy, led by Charles I, and Parliament, driven by issues of governance and authority. Question 37. Describe the changes that the Human Rights Act 1998 brought to the UK. A. It established the UK Supreme Court. B. It incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into UK law. C. It created the National Health Service. D. It introduced the minimum wage. Answer B. It incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into UK law. The Human Rights Act 1998 significantly impacted UK law by incorporating the rights and freedoms from the European Convention on Human Rights directly into domestic law. Question 38. What significant public health measure was introduced in Britain in 1958? A. The Clean Air Act. B. The introduction of the polio vaccine. C. The ban on smoking in public places. D. The establishment of the Food Standards Agency. Answer B. The introduction of the polio vaccine. In 1958, the polio vaccine was introduced in the UK, which was a major public health milestone in combating poliomyelitis, a disease that had caused widespread panic and illness. Question 39. What role did Britain play in the Treaty of Versailles? A. It led the negotiations to end World War I. B. It opposed the treaty, leading to its eventual failure. C. It was primarily responsible for the reparations section. D. It mediated between France and Germany. Answer A. It led the negotiations to end World War I. Britain, along with France and the United States, played a leading role in the negotiations of the Treaty of Versailles, which officially ended World War I and imposed various terms on Germany. Question 40. What was the primary purpose of the Elizabethan Poor Law of 1601? A. To establish a national health service. B. To provide pensions for the elderly. C. To mandate the support of the needy within their own communities. D. To outlaw begging and vagrancy. Answer: C. To mandate the support of the needy within their own communities. The Elizabethan Poor Law of 1601 was a significant piece of social legislation that required local parishes to take care of the poor and destitute within their communities, marking the start of a formalized system of welfare. Question 41. In what year did the UK join the European Economic Community? A. 1957. B. 1973. C. 1985. D. 1992. Answer: B. 1973. The United Kingdom joined the European Economic Community, now known as the European Union, in 1973, expanding its economic and political connections with Europe. Question 42. Who was the architect behind St. Paul's Cathedral, rebuilt after the Great Fire of London? A. Inigo Jones. B. Christopher Wren. C. Thomas Hardy. D. John Nash. Answer: B. Christopher Wren. Sir Christopher Wren was the architect responsible for the design of the new St. Paul's Cathedral after the original was destroyed in the Great Fire of London in 1666. Question 43. What was the impact of the Enclosure Acts in England? A. They increased the democratic rights of rural workers. B. They led to the industrialization of agriculture. C. They consolidated farmland into larger farms, often displacing small farmers. D. They decreased the production of agricultural goods. Answer: C. They consolidated farmland into larger farms, often displacing small farmers. The Enclosure Acts allowed for the consolidation of open fields and common land into the hands of fewer, larger landowners, leading to significant social and economic changes in rural England. Question 44. Name the king associated with the Royal Observatory's creation in Greenwich. A. King James I. B. King Edward III. C. King Charles II. D. King George VIII. Answer: C. King Charles II. King Charles II was instrumental in the creation of the Royal Observatory in Greenwich in 1675, which played a crucial role in the development of astronomy and navigation. Question 45. What year was the National Health Service, NHS, established? A. 1948. B. 1952. C. 1965. D. 1973. Answer: A. 1948. The National Health Service, NHS, was established in 1948 to provide health care to all UK citizens based on need, rather than the ability to pay, marking a significant development in British public health and welfare. Question 46. Who was the British Foreign Secretary responsible for the Balfour Declaration, and what was its significance? A. Winston Churchill. B. Anthony Eden. C. Arthur Balfour. D. Harold Macmillan. Answer C. Arthur Balfour. Arthur Balfour, as British Foreign Secretary, issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917, which expressed support for a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, significantly impacting Middle Eastern history and politics. Question 47. What is the historical significance of the Battle of Agincourt in 1415? A. It ended the 100 Years' War. B. It was a major victory for English forces against France during the 100 Years' War. C. It led to the establishment of the English Parliament. D. It marked the beginning of British naval dominance. Answer B. It was a major victory for English forces against France during the 100 Years' War. The Battle of Agincourt is famed for the use of the English longbow, which helped the outnumbered English forces achieve a decisive victory. Question 48. What led to the passing of the Reform Act 1832, and what did it change about the British electoral system? A. It was passed in response to the Great Depression and increased the number of voters. B. It was a response to widespread social unrest, and it redistributed seats in the House of Commons and widened the voting base. C. It was initiated by the monarch to reduce parliamentary power. D. It was meant to address the agricultural crisis by reallocating land. Answer B. It was a response to widespread social unrest, and it redistributed seats in the House of Commons and widened the voting base. The Reform Act 1832 was a pivotal moment in British political history, addressing electoral inequalities and extending the franchise to a larger segment of the population. Question 49. Who was responsible for the discovery of penicillin, and in what year? A. Alexander Fleming, 1928. B. Marie Curie, 1898. C. Edward Jenner, 1796. D. Louis Pasteur, 1864. Answer A. Alexander Fleming, 1928. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928, a breakthrough that led to the development of antibiotics and had profound implications for medical science. Question 50. What significant environmental legislation was passed in the UK in the early 21st century? A. The Kyoto Protocol implementation. B. The Climate Change Act 2008. C. The Paris Agreement adoption. D. The Environmental Protection Act 1990 revision. Answer B. The Climate Change Act 2008. The Climate Change Act 2008 was a groundbreaking piece of legislation in the UK that set legally binding targets for the reduction of greenhouse gases, aiming to reduce carbon emissions by 80% by 2050 compared to 1990 levels.